Hi, let us discuss today about the venous systems of the thoracic wall, which includes the intercostal veins and the azygous system of veins. To start with the intercostal veins which drains the venous blood from the intercostal space are two in number, one anterior intercostal vein and one from the posterior intercostal vein. Anterior intercostal vein drains into internal thoracic vein in the upper 6 spaces, whereas in the next 3 spaces the anterior intercostal vein drains into the musculophrenic vein. Whereas the posterior intercostal veins, which are 11 in number on each side, these are the right-sided posterior intercostal veins and these are the left-sided posterior intercostal veins, which are 11 in number. And if you see it lies between the internus and intimus muscle, and in the posterior part it lies between the costal pleura and endothoracic fascia. Then it lies behind the sympathetic trunk, drains the venous blood to the back muscles, from the back muscles, and the termination is different on either sides. On the right side it is different and on the left side it is different. So if you see the right side, this is the first right posterior intercostal vein which is draining into right brachiocephalic vein. This is the right brachiocephalic vein, which is formed by the union of right subclavian vein and right internal jugular vein. Second, third and fourth right posterior intercostal veins join with each other to form a vein which is called as superior intercostal vein. Since this is the right side, it is a right superior intercostal vein which drains or opens into the arch of azygous vein. This is the arch of azygous vein. This right superior intercostal vein opens into the arch of the azygous vein. Whereas 5th to 11th, right 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th posterior intercostal veins drain directly into the azygous vein. This is the azygous vein. This is on the right sided. The termination of the posterior intercostal veins of the right side are, again I repeat, first right posterior intercostal vein directly drains into right brachiocephalic vein. Second, third, fourth join with each other to form the right superior intercostal vein which drains into arch of azygous vein. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th right sided posterior intercostal vein directly drains into azygous. This is azygous vein. Coming to the left side, these are the left posterior intercostal veins, 11 in number. This is the first one, first posterior intercostal vein, like that of the right side, is directly draining into left brachiocephalic vein. This is directly draining into left brachiocephalic vein. Similarly, second, third and occasionally fourth veins join with each other to form left superior intercostal vein like that of the right side, but it is also draining into left brachiocephalic vein. This left brachiocephalic vein is formed by the union of left subclavian and left internal jugular vein. Both is joined to form the left brachiocephalic vein, and at the junction of this left subclavian vein and internal jugular vein we find the termination of this thoracic duct. So again I repeat, second, third and fourth left posterior intercostal veins join with each other to form left superior intercostal vein. This also opens into the left brachiocephalic vein. 5th, 6th, 7th and occasionally 8th drains into accessory azygous vein or superior hemiazygous vein. This is an accessory or superior hemiazygous vein, which at the level of T7 joins with the azygous vein on other side. Similarly, the 9th, 10th, 11th, sometimes 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, these veins drain into inferior hemiazygous vein. This is inferior hemiazygous vein. This at the level of T8 joins the azygous vein. So most of the venous blood reaching the right atrium of the heart is happening through the azygous and hemiazygous system of veins, except for these ones: right first posterior intercostal vein, left first posterior intercostal vein, and left second, third, fourth posterior intercostal veins through the superior intercostal vein and directly through the brachiocephalic vein. This part of the blood is directly coming into the superior vena cava through the superior vena cava and opening into the right atrium, whereas the rest of the blood is reaching the right atrium through the azygous system of veins. So coming to the azygous system of veins, azygous system of veins are straight. That means these are straight veins which are paravertebral in position, which are by the side of the vertebral column, which are paravertebral in position, and they are not accompanied by corresponding arteries, and they are provided with valves. They are related to, they communicate with the vertebral venous plexus behind and with the vena cava in front. And the terminal veins belonging to this azygous system is azygous vein, accessory azygous vein, and inferior azygous vein. These three are said as the terminal veins belonging to this azygous system of veins. When we talk about the azygous vein, it is inconstant in its origin. Most of the times it presents as lumbar azygous vein, arising from the posterior aspect of, this is inferior vena cava, which is formed by the union of two common iliac veins, right-sided common iliac vein, left-sided common iliac vein, join with each other to form the inferior vena cava. This is the renal vein, which is a tributary of inferior vena cava. This is left renal vein, this one is a right renal vein. So slightly below or close to the origin of the renal vein, this azygous vein arises from the back of the inferior vena cava as lumbar azygous vein, which is paravertebral in position, which may pierce, this is a right crus of diaphragm, which may pierce the right crus of the diaphragm or passing behind the right crus of the diaphragm. Very rarely it may pass through the aortic opening of the diaphragm. Then it ascends upwards, and at the level of T12, at the level of T12, it may receive its first tributary. This is the first tributary of azygous vein, which is formed by the union of, this is right subcostal vein, that is the 12th intercostal vein. This is the right subcostal vein, and this is ascending lumbar vein. Right ascending, this is the right ascending lumbar vein, and this one is the right subcostal vein, that is the 12th intercostal vein. These two join with each other to form a vein, and that opens into the azygous vein, which is said as the first tributary of azygous vein. Then it ascends upwards in front of the vertebral column, and on reaching the at the level of the sternal angle, at the level of T4, it arches forwards from behind to open into the superior vena cava after piercing the fibrous pericardium. Variation in its termination, we can say, sometimes at its termination, it may pierce the lung tissue above the root of the lung, thereby dividing into anterior and posterior part suspended by mesentery, and this, when present, is called as, the medial portion of the split part is called as the lobe of azygous vein of right side. This is a common origin. Now coming to the sometimes variation in the origin is this, instead of coming from the inferior vena cava, the azygous vein instead of coming from the inferior vena cava, it may, this portion which is formed by the union of right subcostal vein and right ascending lumbar vein may form the commencement of the azygous vein and drains into the superior vena cava. That is the variations in the origin. In 90% of the times it comes from the inferior vena cava. Very rarely this may be the beginning of the azygous vein. Coming to its tributaries, I have said this is the first tributary. Second tributaries are the accessory azygous vein, inferior hemiazygous vein, which is opening into the azygous vein at the level of T7 and T8, forms its second tributaries. Then this intercostal veins, right-sided posterior intercostal veins from 5th to 11th, and right superior intercostal vein, which is formed by the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, forms its third tributary. Fourth tributary, I can say the right bronchial vein, which is said as the last tributary. First tributary being this one. The last tributary I can say is the right bronchial vein. And fifth one is esophageal vein, mediastinal vein, pericardial veins, etc. All these are the tributaries. Again I repeat, the first tributary is this, which is formed by the union of right subcostal vein and right ascending lumbar vein. The second tributaries are these, that is accessory azygous vein or superior hemiazygous vein and inferior hemiazygous vein. The third tributaries are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 right-sided posterior intercostal veins and right superior intercostal vein, which is formed by 2nd, 3rd and 4th right-sided posterior intercostal vein. The last tributary is the right bronchial vein, and the other tributaries include esophageal vein, mediastinal veins, pericardial veins, etc. Coming to the development of azygous vein, it develops from two sources. The lower vertical part of the azygous vein develops from the right azygous venous line. I repeat, the lower vertical part of the azygous vein develops from right azygous venous line, whereas this one, the arch of azygous vein, develops from the persistent cephalic part of the posterior cardinal vein. So azygous vein develops from two sources, from the right azygous venous line and from the posterior cardinal vein. Coming to the applied aspect of the azygous vein, sometimes in case of obstruction to the inferior vena cava or into the inferior vena cava or in the superior vena cava, this azygous system of veins forms an alternative route of return of venous blood back to the heart. Second, the terminal veins belonging to the azygous system is inferior hemiazygous vein. This is the inferior hemiazygous vein, which is formed by the union of left subcostal vein, that is the 12th intercostal vein, left subcostal vein joining with the left ascending lumbar vein. This joins with each other to form the inferior hemiazygous vein, and which receives a communicating branch from the left renal vein. So again I repeat, the left ascending, this one, the left ascending lumbar vein joins with left subcostal vein to form the inferior hemiazygous vein, which receives a communicating branch from the left renal vein. This not only receives a branch from the renal vein, but also receives the 9th, 10th, 11th left posterior intercostal veins, and after receiving it at the level of T8, it joins with the azygous vein. The third vein belonging to the system is accessory azygous vein or superior hemiazygous vein. This actually is said to be a continuation of the left posterior intercostal vein, being receiving the venous blood from the 5th, 6th, 7th and occasionally 8th to form the accessory azygous vein, which at the level of T7 ends at the azygous vein proper. Sometimes we can see a communication between accessory azygous vein and inferior hemiazygous vein, this one, and even with the accessory azygous vein with left fourth posterior intercostal vein like this. This is all about the azygous system of veins and the posterior intercostal veins. Thank you.